Welcome to Barry Charles Footy Show, Episode 1. I'm your host, Barry Charles. We have a ripper of a show for you tonight as I discuss my bold predictions for 2022. And then we'll look at a preview of the Saturday night and Sunday games. First off, let's look at my bold predictions for 2022. Parramatta Eels to be premiers this season. The glory years of the 80s are gone, and they missed their golden opportunity in 2002 and 2009 when the Hayne plane was flying. The battle scars of the last few years have them fired up, ready to take the Eels to the promised land, which I'm sure Sterlo will love, and Peter Wins at Peter Wins store. You got the likes of Clint Gufferson, Mitchell Moses, should be heading into their prime right now. But my question to you is Mitchell Moses the star they need? If you looked at the recent interview, he was dodging questions, sort of, getting a little bit annoyed with the tough questions. He really needs to man up and concentrate himself on being the star he can be by being nice, cool, calm and collected, as well as delivering the goods that Parramatta need. Obviously, Origin selection last year was very good for Mitchell Moses, and this combination with Dylan Brown and Reid Mahoney are going to be big for the season. And when you got a forward pack of Junior Paulo, Regan Gillard, Isaiah Papali'i, they could do anything. If they can get the best out of Ryan Madison and Bryce Cartwright, my second bold prediction is Michael Maguire will be sacked by round 9. Yes, even before mid-season. I believe in round 9 when they take on the Manly Seagulls. This is the testing game. They could easily lose by 50 points. And with the hard road before that, they might only be 2 out of 9, which to me, he cannot survive, and he will be out the back door, and they'll be looking for the next king of the Tigers. And to be fair, having 5 captains is just bizarre. Bold prediction number 3, Shaun Johnson, Dally M medalist 2022, and leading the Warriors back into the top 8. While the biggest question obviously for Shaun Johnson is whether or not he can get through the season injury free. He's been injury prone the last couple of years, and 2020, the Sharks looked like they were going to be a big finals player the way Shaun Johnson was playing, and then he done his Achilles, which really dented them and they just fell apart. But Shaun Johnson at his best with his silky skills, and it looks like he has matured as a player on the field. Hopefully under Nathan Brown, they will go forward, and with their forward pack as well, they got a big chance of doing something special this year. My fourth and final prediction for 2022 is that the South Sydney Rabbitohs will miss the top 8. What you're saying? Yes, I am a big fan of the Rabbitohs, but to be fair, I just don't see it happening this year. Obviously losing their dominant leader in Adam Reynolds, the super coach Wayne Bennett, Jaden Sewer going on to greener pastures, and of course the Kiwi legend himself, Benji Marshall, who clearly is the larrikin of the team last year, but also has the nous to know what to do in the big games and calm the players down. They will surely miss him as well this season. In the direction of Adam Reynolds' kicking game, Cody Walker is going to have to be absolutely everything. We will see what happens for the Rabbitohs in 2022, but I will see them missing the 8. Now let's kick off to the preview show here on Barry Charles. The first game is going to be the SCG on Saturday afternoon, where the Tigers are trying to knock off the Storm, who have an 18 from 18 win percentage, 100% in round 1 games under Craig Bellamy. So let's have a look at what the Tigers line up with. At number 1, you got Dane Laurie, David Nofaluma, very good player. James Roberts at his best, he's outstanding. We'll see how the Gildart goes, the Oliver from England. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Ken Mamolo, well, he's okay, but to me, he's just going to have the same problems as he had the Warriors, too slow to turn around. Jackson Hastings and Luke Brooks, to me, it's just not strong enough. I'm probably going to be proved wrong, but Tigers, to me, I'll be stunned if they're not close to the bottom this season. They have been near enough around 9th for quite a few years, apart from last season. But I think this is the season they might slide right out the back door. I hope I'm wrong for you Tigers fans, but just the way I see it. But they got a few good young guns here, obviously. With Stefano, he is the guy that could do something for them, but again, maybe he needs to go somewhere else. Luciano Leilua, he could be a hazard this season, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Tyrone Peachy, very good buy. He could be the saviour for them. We'll see how he goes. With Luke Garner saying Musgrove. It's just, to me, it's just lacking class, really. Just the Tigers. And they haven't got much depth outside of this group, so long season ahead, I think, for you fans of the Tigers. And James Tamau to come back in, but to be fair, will need to improve his game. Melbourne Storm line up for round 1. We have Ryan Pappenhausen. Well, can he get back to his mighty best? He wasn't the greatest last season coming back from that injury. Let's hope he's ready to rock and roll for the Storm fans. George Jennings and Xavier Coates, exciting. And Xavier Coates could be the difference the Melbourne Storm are looking to get to their premiership title. With Justin Olam and Reeman Smith in the centres, very nice. Obviously got Nick Meaney playing this round with Jerome Hughes. Now Jesse Bromwich is out, so there will be a replacement there from the Brandon Smith at number 9, Christian Welsh, Felice Kafusi, Kenneth Bromwich, Josh King. Interesting to see how Tyron Wishart goes here. Rod Wishart, woohoo! We're starting to see the old players' sons come out to play. We'll see how he goes. Jaden Nikarima, Trent, and obviously Nelson Asofa Solomona. Interesting character, this one. We'll see how he goes during the season. Obviously, they got a few people out like Harry Grant, Cameron Munster, Cooper Jones. So they got a bit of the thing. But have they got the depth this season? That's my worry about the Storm as well. They're lacking a bit of depth this season. I think the Tigers will be good for 60 minutes, and I think the last 20 they'll get found out here. And I think you can pick the Storm for a 12-point here. This next game, I think it's the game of the round here on Sunday afternoon footy. Again at CommBank Stadium, the Eels versus the Titans. Two teams that have high expectations into 2022. Will they deliver on their promises? Let's have a look at the home team, the Eels, first round-up lineup. And it's a very good team indeed. You got Clint Gutherson, Sean Russell, Philly Army Penasai. Interesting to see how he goes. Walker Blake, Bailey Simonson. A little bit of question marks about the backs here. But they got a few Micah Sevo. They got a few players to come back. So a bit of a shame about Hayes Dunster getting injured, but still, that could be their Achilles heels. That may stop them going all the way to the premiership. But if you look at the rest of the team, it's very good. Dylan Walker and Mitchell Moses, arguably on their best form, probably the best running halves in the game. And I tell you what, that's what you need. And with Reid Mahoney there, the sky's the limit for this team if the forward pack delivers. With Junior Paulo, Regan, Campbell Gillard, Sean Lane, Isaiah Papalili. You obviously got Ryan Madison, but you got a few players to come back in the Corey. So they're very, very good. They're very, very good. And they got Ray Stone and Oregon Kafusi, Jacob Arthur on the bench, Makatoa. And when Nathan Brown, they come back in. But also look at this list. You got Bryce Cartwright, you got Mitch Ray, you got Tom Apayek, Hayes Perman. They've got a lot of good players here that they can bring in. And probably surprised that Tom Apayek is not in there, to be fair. But there was a bit of issues last year. Maybe he'll come back. Let's hope. The Gold Coast lineup for round 1, 2022. Jaden Campbell, number 1, I think, is a touchy one for me. I believe he's number 6 for mine if I was going to, and I'll put Brimson at fullback with these question marks over whether Brimson's going to play. They got a solid backline without saying superstars. Philip, Sammy, and Corey Thompson, the wingers, Brian Kelly and Patrick Herbert. Brimson, but there's doubts he's going to be playing this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see how they go without him if he's not there. Toby Sexton. But look at this. One player again that I'm a little bit worried about is Aaron Clark, whether he can deliver at hooker. That could be the Achilles heel this season here for the Titans. But Futuaka, Isaac Liu, David Fafita, Bo Firma, Tino Fassa. Yeah, Tino, he's a very good player. Will Smith, Sam Lasoni, Jolliffe, and Kevin Proctor on the bench. It's leaving out some good players like Tanner Boyd, Jared Wallace, Humanes Ese. Easton Masters has been a little disappointing, but they should be there around top 8 this season, the Titans. This is going to be a good match here, and we have sunny conditions, look out. But there has been a bit wet and wild over in Sydney lately. Let's hope that disappears and everyone can get back to some sort of normal life in some parts of Sydney there. Take care out there, the ones that have gone through the floods. We hope you'll be back on your feet very soon. I'm going to be tipping Parramatta by 2 in this one in a tight contest. And the final game of the round, I'm talking about the Cellar Dwellers for mine. The Cowboys and the Bulldogs. I could be proved wrong, but I just don't think these squads are strong enough in 2022. Both of these coaches are under serious pressure this year for mine. If they don't perform, they could be out the window here. And Gus Gould will not take any nonsense, so if Trent Barrett's not up to standard, you know what he did to Nathan Cleary. So interesting to see what happens in this space. Let's look up at the final game of the round here. The Cowboys. Fullback. Oh, he's flying. Hamiso Fado, he's a very good player. Kyle Valentine Holmes, I think, should be on the wing, but that's for another day. Peter Hiku, he was very good for the Warriors. I hope he continues his good form. You wouldn't want him to go backwards. Taulagi, he's a very good player. Tom Dearden, number 6, interesting selection here with Chad Downstead. Are they two the same samey? I obviously heard Todd Payton go, he picked him on defence, but I'm a little bit worried about attack. Which Scott Drinkwater attack is very amazing. But yeah, I know defence wins comps. I understand his reasoning there. But I don't know if he's got enough flair in attack, and that's what they need. Chad Townsend's a solid player. He'll do his thing. Just a little bit below Adam Reynolds, but that sort of type player. And Tom Dearden's pretty much the same sort of player. So to me, that's just an interesting selection. But anyway, that's who they're going with. Scott Drinkwater, I think, brings more in attack, and I think that's what they need. Jermaine Tanoa Brown, interesting to see him starting, but he's obviously improved. And Todd Payton obviously is liking what he's seen. Again, the hookers are not a good sign here. Reece Robson is the hooker here for the Cowboys. I can't see them making an 8 with Reece Robson. I'm sorry. Cohen Hess, but they got a very young, exuberant back row here of Lukey and Nanai. Exciting prospects, but it's a little bit too early to expect all this pressure on them. And Jason Tamalola, the $1 million price tag that he hasn't been living up to. Can he deliver in 2022? Ruben Cotter, Jordan McLean, Mitchell Dunn, and Tom Gilbert. And interesting to see they got Jake Granville there. Maybe he should be the number 9. But again, he's probably a little bit past it. And you got Brendan Elliott there. That's a solid player. Sort of forgotten about player around the tracks. Yeah, so obviously a few question marks over this squad here. Jason Tamalolo, should they get rid of him? Tom Dearden, is he the answer at number 6? It's going to be an interesting old time here at the Cowboys. And Valentine Holmes at centre, I don't know if that's going to last. I expect them to be on the wing before the end of the season. Let's look at Canterbury Bulldogs, who have obviously gone on a spending spree in 2022. And let's have a look at this squad. For round 1, we have Matt Duffy, Jaden Ockenbaugh, Braden Burns, Brent Naden, Josh Adokar. Josh Adokar. I think he's going to find it a lot harder this year, not having the same talent around him. The scoring all those tries, he might be going, what's happening here, guys? Give me the ball. Matt Burden. Interesting selection at 6. Should he be number 7? I have an argument he could easily be a centre as well, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. He's obviously got to be in the halves just with the players they got at the moment. Jack Averillo. This is where the Bulldogs are looking sad. You got them, Cole Flanagan. I think it's probably Cole Flanagan, probably should be there, but I think Trent Barrett's just crossed him out. He's just going to sit in a reserve grade unless he's just injury after injury after injury. I just can't see him being in the team on the trials. Looking at the forward pack, you got Luke Thompson, Jeremy Marshall-King again. Is he the answer? He's a solid player, but is he going to win you a premiership? I don't think so. Paul Vaughan, interesting to see how he comes back this season. Jack Everton, can he calm his wits? Same with Tavita Pangai Jr. That's the problem. They got some attacking weapons, but will they stay on the field? Or will they get a bit too crazy and be missing a few games this season? That is the worry for the second rowers. Josh Jackson has always been consistent and doesn't get the just desserts he deserves. We got Beyonde Odo, Corey Riddell, Max King, and Chris Patolo. Honestly, do you understand that? They bench, and they really haven't gone much after that. So I don't know what they're going to do there, the Bulldogs this season. I'm very worried for them. Obviously, the Bulldogs are under a lot of pressure with all the signings, mainly in the back line, so a little bit in the forwards as well. But Matt Burden, can he deliver? Josh Adokar, is he going to deliver at a club down this sort of part of the ladder? It's going to be interesting to see. I expect the Bulldogs to improve, but whether they improve enough for Trent Barrett to keep his job, time will tell. So in this game, even though a lot of people say go to the Bulldogs, I just think the Cowboys maybe at home are going to get this game here by 8 points. Well, that is the very first Barry Charles Footy Show episode 1. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back here every week, and I'll be giving a highlight of the game of the round from last week. And again, I'll look at the Saturday and Sunday night footy games and all the breaking news around the NRL and all the signings and everything in between. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time here at Barry Charles.